everyone. Welcome to your finals week. I know some of you are probably extremely excited about this week, and some of you are absolutely paranoid because of this week, but don't be. Finals week does not have to be a scary week. It does not have to be an overwhelming week, and it really doesn't have to be nearly as terrifying as people and students think it is. It is definitely a more condensed week, but that does not mean that it can't be done, okay? So as we kind of head into finals week, I typically have a question that I always ask of my students, and that question is, are you Ross? So I've got a little video here that I want to play for you guys, and then we'll kind of talk about whether you are or aren't Ross here. So let's see what he has to say.
I'm fine. Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
Okay, so if finals week has you to the point that you are at what I like to call the loud squeaky voice, okay, first, come down off of that. You're going to be just fine. Finals does not have to be that fear in the back of your mind. It does not have to be a scary moment for you. I know some of you are probably worried that you won't pass because of your current grade. But keep in mind there's still quite a few points on the table this week between your final exam and your final discussion board. So please do not count yourself out yet. Do not count your chickens before they're hatched. You just give yourself this final week. Give it a last push, and make sure that you're doing the utmost best that you can. A few weeks ago, back in week 9, you should have gotten a final exam review, and that would have been in your lecture course. Hopefully you have printed that off. Hopefully you have spent some time working on that and studying from that, as well as looking over all your old quizzes. I can tell you that your final exam is made up of questions that you have already seen. So if you're reviewing your old quizzes and you got something wrong and you can't find the correct answer, always make sure that you reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you find the correct answer or point you in the right direction so you can have a better understanding of why you got that question wrong. Okay? I don't mind it. Actually, I quite love those questions because it tells me that you are serious about your finals and you want to make sure that you do the best that you can. Okay? For this week, as we're kind of wrapping up, you do still have a discussion board. And that discussion board is really looking at patient identification errors. So something we've kind of been talking about for a few weeks now. But what we have is a short video in your discussion board reviewing and looking at some patient identification errors. You need to watch that video first before you do any of your discussion board because the questions that you need to answer are related to that discussion video, okay? So you're going to watch that video. It is a pretty short video. It might be a little difficult to watch just because of some of the content errors that happen, but please just try to kind of push through it. I know I have a little bit of a hard time watching that video. And after you finish watching that video, there are 3 questions in your discussion board that you need to answer. The first one is, what was the most concerning to you? So after watching that video, what was your biggest concern about the patient identification errors? The second question is, how can you prevent patient identification errors from occurring? So what is it that you can do to make sure that those errors that happened in the video do not happen when you are the medical assistant? And the final question is, list the steps and procedures that you can take to assure patient safety. That's definitely one of the biggest topics, as that's 90% of what your job is as a medical assistant is you are there for the patient's safety and you are there to be the advocate for patient safety. Okay? So answer those 3 questions. Your initial post will be due no later than Tuesday, September 12th by midnight, and you'll need to reply to at least one classmate no later than Friday, September 15th by midnight. Yes, you read that right. You do not get until Sunday. Unfortunately, you only get until Friday for finals week. So please make sure that you plan your time accordingly so that way you can get all of your work done in the correct time. Now, you also need to complete your final exam. That is a 50-question multiple choice question quiz. Again, made up of questions that you have already seen. You get one attempt at it, though. So previously, you used to get 2 attempts at your final exam. Now you only get 1. And whatever you get actually just populates into your overall grade. So please be cautious of that. As you're moving through taking that final exam, you do not get a second attempt. That will also be due Friday, September 15th by midnight. Now, as you complete all of your work for the week, please make sure that you understand you have to have a 73% or higher in the course. The grades do get rounded. So, for example, if you had a 72.5, you would receive a 73. But if your overall grade is something less than that, so let's say it was a 72.4, you would get a 72%. Unfortunately, that would mean that you fail the course and have to repeat it next quarter. So please be watching for that and paying close attention to that this week. I like to email my students with what their final grade is so they don't have to worry about it over break week. So please be watching for those emails as well. All right, so that is all I really have for this finals week to wrap it up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, reach out to me either via email or my direct line at the Rockford campus that you can find on your course homepage. It has been a pleasure being your instructor for the past 11 weeks, and hopefully I get to see some of you again on your journey as you continue on here with Rasmussen. Have a wonderful finals week, guys. Bye-bye.